Hello and welcome to the second edition of Geeking Out with Geekpool. Today we'll be reviewing the Masters of the Universe Revelation Season 1 Part 1, as well as the Gunpowder Milkshake. Both Masters of the Universe Revelation and Gunpowder Milkshake came out on Netflix. However, I'm not paid by Netflix. I wish, because right now I'd be buying myself a 3D printer that I so solely want. So on the first topic is Master of the Universe Revelations show on Netflix, Part 1, Season 1. This will be a spoiler report, so if you haven't watched the show yet, step away, stop this video right now, go watch the first 5 episodes of Part 1, come back, and then we can review it together. So, let me be honest with you, I am a huge Kevin Smith fan. I have been a Kevin Smith fan for many years. I've met him on two or three occasions. I love all of his work, his movies, his stand-ups, his Q&As. But this has nothing to do with my love of this show as well. I was always a He-Man Masters of the Universe fan, and this did feel exactly like that show. A lot of people keep saying, well, it's not the old 80s show. No, it's a lot better. It's a lot more, I wouldn't say adult, but it's a lot, it's more geared for the fans of that show as a continuation of that show. I watched that show religiously. I was always a big Orko fan, even though he always fumbled up his magic tricks and stuff. He was always one of my favorites. I am planning on doing an Orko cosplay. I'm still trying to work on the few aspects of that. To me, the best part of the show was the animation. The drawings of each character, all the background shots, everything was amazing. The art was gorgeous. Everything looked great. I loved it. The story was great. It felt like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? With the old show is like it always reset itself at the end and then had the little message at the end. This one didn't feel like the little cartoon in the 80s. It felt like it was more kind of like the Star Wars cartoons of you didn't know what was going to happen next and you were always looking forward to the next episode. The other thing I loved was the cast. You had Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker, aka the Joker, aka Cockknocker, as Skeletor. You had Sarah Michelle Gellar as Teela. If you don't know who she is, Buffy the Vampire Slayer show. You had Lena Headey, Cersei herself from Game of Thrones, as well as Liam Cunningham at Man-at-Arms. You had a lot of great voice actors as well as a lot of normal actors in this show, which actually made the show a hell of a lot better than I thought it would be. The voices, you can tell who they are, however, they actually acted the part. Skeletor was Skeletor. A lot of people say, oh, he sounded too much like Joker. Well, that's Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill made Skeletor a little bit more cunning and a little bit more sadistic. The old shows, he was just like this angry buffoon. As for the story, I did like the story. It followed two different characters. They didn't put He-Man aside per se. They mostly just made it look like He-Man sacrificed himself to save the universe, which it was. And then it showed the after effects of what happened to that and why the whole show was kind of geared a little more towards Teela than it was towards He-Man. They did a lot of flashbacks of the interactions between Teela and He-Man / Adam, and they also showed flashbacks of how Skeletor came to be, as well as Evil Lyn. But this is more character building, and that's why I liked the show. It built up other characters other than just He-Man. It built up who Orko was, and built up Evil Lyn, as well as Teela and Teela's friend. That's why I actually liked it. They also built up Cringer, and they gave Man-at-Arms a better story arc. Now, a lot of people are saying that Kevin Smith lied to him. I really don't understand why they feel that way. Kevin Smith didn't spoil the whole story because he wanted you to go watch it and watch it for yourself. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. That's fine. But using the word woke, when people use that word, I automatically think you're an idiot. I don't care they didn't use He-Man as the main protagonist. If you want to go watch the 1980s version, you still can go watch it. Kevin Smith didn't destroy your copies or erase it from existence. He made the series that he felt he wanted to see, and what the Mattel bosses wanted to see, and what Netflix bosses wanted to see. Something with stakes, something that, people can die in this show, and yeah, they may come back. However, some might not, and you don't know until you watch the next episode, or until you watch the second part of the season. Everyone's saying, well, He-Man, this show is supposed to be all about He-Man. No, it's not. Shows aren't just about one character. It wasn't He-Man and the Master of the Universe. It was Masters of the Universe Revelations. And at the end, you don't know what's going to happen. Skeletor gets the sword in the end. And then it ends. He kills Adam, and he becomes the Skeletor god, as he always wanted to be. Everyone's angry because they think Kevin Smith lied to him. He didn't lie, he just didn't... Saying that Kevin Smith lied to you is like saying George Lucas lied to you when he didn't reveal that Darth Vader was Luke's father in the first Star Wars movie. Or he didn't reveal that Luke and Leia were brother and sister. You will see it when it comes through. When you see the second part, then you go off and say, oh, well, it's not the show I wanted it to be. Well, I went in here with no expectations. I went in watching this show not expecting He-Man to be the main character. I wasn't expecting anyone to be the main character. I just wanted to watch a good Masters of the Universe show, and that's what Kevin Smith gave to me. Review bombing this show doesn't make you a hero or make you feel like you did something good. You didn't. It's a piece of art, and yes, people will dislike it, people will not like it, but don't just dislike it because you said, hey, that Kevin Smith lied to you. He didn't lie to you. He just put out work that you don't like. And if that's not what you wanted, let it be. Don't go out there bashing something just because you don't like it and saying people lied to you. They didn't lie to you. Well, that's enough about Masters of the Universe before I start going off on a tangent about other reviewers and review bombing the show. So for our second topic of the show, I'm going to give you a spoiler review of Gunpowder Milkshake. This is a Netflix original movie. If you haven't watched it, of course, I highly suggest you do. It is a good movie. It's not an Academy Award-winning movie. However, it is a really good shoot-'em-up, girls gone wild type of movie. It's kind of like a John Wick meets shoot 'em up. Now they have aspects like John Wick with the firm and kind of like their own little Assassin's Guild, and the library aspect was really great with the 3 librarians using their colorful language for weapon books as weapons, as well as like hiding the weapons inside of books. The main protagonist, Karen Gillan, who played Eva, was amazing, funny, and charismatic, as well as sarcastic. If you recognize the name, she played in the 2 Jumanji movies, as well as played Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxies Volume 1 and 2, as well as Avengers Infinity War and Endgame in the MCU. Her mother, another great actress, Leah Headley, same person who just played Evil Lynn in Masters of the Universe Revelation, played a phenomenal role in this movie. The supporting cast, Paul Giamatti played a great bad guy / father figure to the protagonist. Carla, I cannot pronounce her name, I'm sorry. Carla Giuliano, Angela Bassett, and Michelle Yeoh as the librarians. They're hilarious. They made the movie very funny and delightful. And the young girl, played by Chloe Coleman, was very funny and sarcastic. She, if you recognize her name, she was in the movie Spy with Dave Bautista. So the story got off a good open. The main protagonist was pictured as a small little girl waiting for her mom, and her mom had to leave her, so she followed in her footsteps of becoming an assassin. They didn't make it look like they were trying to be John Wick. They had their own elements into the movie. Now that Eva and John Wick ever teamed up, now that would be an unstoppable force. But there's a lot of similarities of both movies, a lot of differences as well. There wasn't really a main antagonist. I'm guessing that would have been Paul Giamatti role, since he did turn her back on her because he ordered the hit on the big boss's son and then tells the big boss, I didn't do it. She went out on her own. Then you have the big boss's nephew. He played a pretty good role as an antagonist and trying to kill everybody who got in his way of trying to kill her as well as the child, and then using the child as a hostage at the end. The big fight at the end in the library was great, funny, and how they used the weapons as well as they used books as weapons and other things as weapons instead of just guns and shooting. I'll definitely be looking forward to a sequel to this movie, as well as hoping to see maybe a prequel series on how Lita Headley's character started out as an assassin. If you like the show, make sure you hit the subscribe button and follow me on other social media. Here are my links. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments below on what you thought of the show and give some suggestions of what you'd like me to review or watch. I'm always looking for great things to watch since summertime and most shows are on summer hiatus. Have a great day.